born in West London in a place called Hillingdon. It's like near Heathrow Airport. That's where my mum and dad settled down. Me and Toby, my brother, were born there. My older sister Charlotte was born in central London. And my youngest brother Nico, he was born in High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire. From Ngāti Kahanunu and Ngāi Tahu, he was born in Wyndham in the South Island in Southland, and lived in a teeny place called Harden Bush, which is in Winton, just outside Invercargill. If you keep going north, you'll get there. Grew up on a farm, and when he was younger, moved to Christchurch, and then after Christchurch, moved to London in 1988. We all grew up knowing we were Māori. My dad was raised sort of. He didn't speak Te Reo Māori. He knows a lot of stuff, and he definitely knows more than he thinks he knows. Was really proud to be Māori, but I think during his childhood it wasn't always the sister had her firstborn Takiri. She's raising him with her partner Hokianga as much as she can, using all the Te Reo Māori that they both know, and they're trying to immerse Takiri in Te Reo Māori from a very young age. He goes to kohanga. Takiri is growing up in a Te Reo Māori centered sort of upbringing, whereas we weren't. We were obviously born and raised over here, and that's so cool to see. So I always felt like, sort of going way back, a little bit whakamara at my lack of knowledge, mā tauranga Māori, Te Reo Māori, and tikanga Māori as well. Everything I learn and know now, which isn't much, but everything I know has come from people in London that are my friends, my whānau now, and everything I know sort of has come from them. I really immersed myself in Ngāti Rangana a lot for the last 4 or 5 years. The more I thought about it, I thought, okay, well, moving to New Zealand, definitely something that I want to do. And it was only when I got to around, I don't know, like early this year, I sort of thought, actually, I can take a year out of work and do an immersion course. Why not? The way I thought about it was, when I have my own kids, right? If I can learn Māori this year to a decent level, that means that my kids will speak it, because I'll teach them it, right? And if they can speak it, then their kids will speak it. And if their kids can speak it, their kids will speak it. And before you know it, that's a whole extra whānau of people that can speak to Te Reo Māori that couldn't before, unless I do this. I don't see how I can sort of do the things that I want to do in the rest of my life without improving my Te Reo Māori. I just felt like sort of living and breathing it every day for a whole year will just be awesome. We all arrived at Takiura pretty independently. Just like the reputation of the course, high, and it was recommended by a lot of people within club that sort of know a few of the tutors or kaiko within Te Wānanga Takiura. Ex club members have been. I'd actually already listened to a podcast about it when I was thinking about doing immersion. I listened to a podcast of someone who was at the end of the year immersion and the sort of healing journey that they went on. So yeah, we all had decided that we wanted to do it, and we were sort of sharing with each other tips about, I've got a Zoom interview on this day. Oh yeah, so do I. And then it all transpired. We were all on the same Zoom interview. My expectations are kind of being like, humbled, I'd say. quite early on. In my head, I sort of can get by in certain situations, you know, saying certain things, you know, knowing karakia or knowing the sort of a skeleton mihi for a pohiri that, you know, my mihi might last 1.5 minutes. Gap between 1 minute and 10 minutes is enormous, right? So yeah, I know that it's going to be really, really hard. So my expectations are, I know it's going to be really hard. I'm ready to sort of be like squashed down and then built back up again bigger by the end of the year. And it goes back to that thing about sort of the responsibility. Like I feel a responsibility to do this. I feel um for the generations to come in my whānau, but also for my dad, uncles, aunties that had to skip it. I feel like I have a choice, and I can almost sort of undo what was done to them. And all it takes is for me to be humbled for a year, and that's fine. There's no thinking about it. It's just so worth it. Like, this is the time. This is the time to be there, be amongst it, sort of be part of that kaupapa sort of yeah, I almost feel like this is something that I see sort of people marching or protests or holding banners or you know, proudly waving Tino Ranga Tiratanga. And I just think that is exactly what I'm going home to do. So the main thing I'm excited to do is just connect with my whānau again. Go to my marae, just go and see everyone and get about there. It's a place that, even though it forms a lot of who I am and a lot of my sort of identity and a lot of my, I don't know, belief system in life comes from being Māori. I've never lived in New Zealand, you know, and that has always bugged me. It's always bugged me, yeah. So I'm really excited to go there and just sort of focus on that for a while. I feel like London Josh has had like 28 years, you know, and the past few years I've been sort of diving through Ngāti Rānana into the sort of Māori side of me that I didn't know that much about before joining Ngāti Rānana. And now I just feel it's time to just dive into all of that side for a little bit, get to know myself better, my whānau, where they've come from, connect with my tipuna, all of those things. Yeah. So mostly, to answer your question, whānau.